Welcome to Fairy the Greyhound. We're spending the week down in Cornwall, and today we are visiting the Lost Gardens of Heligan. In Cornish, Lost Heligan means willow tree garden. These are located near Mevagissey in Cornwall and are considered to be amongst the most popular in the UK. After Fairy had had her breakfast at the camper van, we set off along the narrow tree-lined lanes. It was only a 15-minute journey from where we were staying, so we soon arrived at the Lost Gardens of Heligan. The country estate had been in the Tremaine family since 1569. Before the First World War, the gardens were manned by 22 gardeners, but were neglected and lost when the young male workforce headed into the battlefield. Sadly, 16 of Heligan's gardeners never made it back. The gardens were only restored in the 1990s. They include aged and colossal rhododendrons and camellias, a series of lakes fed by a ram pump over 100 years old, a highly productive flower and vegetable garden, an Italian garden, and a wild area filled with subtropical tree ferns called the jungle. The gardens also have Europe's only remaining pineapple pit, worn by rotting manure, and two figures made from rocks and plants known as the Mud Maid and the Giant's Head. The first place we headed to when we entered the gardens was the jungle. The jungle is home to the tallest tree fern in the UK, 6.7 metres worth of tree fern to be exact, and the largest tortara in the British Isles. I'm not sure if Fairy was overly impressed, but Heligan is one of the most extraordinary gardens in the country. The garden's designer is Tim Smith, who is founder of the Eden Project. Let her go first.
I want to run.
Oh, can you go down there? Come on.
Mama, let's make her across the river.
Through the jungle is a winding path of steps, going quite steeply up and down in places. There's also a rope bridge which crosses the jungle, which you can walk along, but I couldn't take Fairy on there, so we didn't go across the rope bridge. The jungle was our favourite part of the gardens. Unfortunately, the rhododendrons had already flowered, so we didn't see the bright pinks and purples of those, but there were a lot of foxgloves around the gardens. The flowers were attracting lots of bees, and there were birds everywhere. I think Fairy was hoping to see squirrels, but she didn't see any. I think she enjoyed the walk though. It took us about 2.5 hours in total to walk around the whole gardens. We saw lots of beautiful flowers and some big redwood trees. When I first got Fairy, she didn't know how to go up and down steps, and I had to teach her how to go up and down the stairs in the house. But luckily now she has learnt, as there were lots and lots of steps here. There was also a rare breeds farm with different types of cows, sheep, goats, ponies, pigs and chickens. In the walled gardens there were lots of flowers, roses, vegetables being grown and some greenhouses with young plants in them. Then we walked down to the park called the Hidden Valley, which was a series of ponds and lakes. I think Fairy wanted to get back to the van to have a sleep. She kept whining. So after about 3 hours, we decided we'd seen enough and we went back. On our way back from Heligan, we stopped at one of the local beaches and we parked up in the van, opened up the back doors, and we just lay there, chilling out, looking at the sea. Hope you enjoyed watching our little trip to the Gardens of Heligan. And if you haven't yet subscribed, please click the subscribe button, turn on your notifications, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching, and thank you for all your lovely comments.